Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're dealing with the 1992 Lancia Delta HF Integrale EVO in A-Class. So yeah, this is one of the cars added to the game by the current Italian automotive series, which has added several great Italian cars to the game, new and old to the Forza series. So yeah, and I've been really enjoying driving this Lancia in upgraded form or otherwise. So yeah, let's see how it does in online racing. So yeah, this car never had the highest of top speeds in its stock form, and that's certainly the case for it today with this upgrade, but it's still reasonably quick. And yeah, the all-wheel drive is stock to the car, so it's nothing extra that's ever to deal with. And yeah, that all-wheel drive system combined with the suspension and just the general layout of the car is just excellent. It's easily one of my favourite hot hatchbacks, which this is one. You know, it's right around the time that a lot of hot hatchbacks were getting all-wheel drive, because the Nissan Pulsar and the Mazda 323 GTR. I think it's the GTR anyway, I don't know that's what it's called, but it's definitely a Mazda 323, and yeah. But I'd say this is probably one of my favourites of the three. I do like the Nissan Pulsar just for how powerful that is in comparison to even this, because this in stock form only had a 210 horsepower engine, which is decent, but with the gearbox not being the best and obviously that not being a huge amount of power in comparison to some cars, it does struggle in terms of top speed. It's not even able to crack 140, which I'm pretty sure the Pulsar can do, so there is that. But there's also the fact that this is, you know, a Lancia, and that does have a lot of weight over, say, a Nissan. And we're going to get actually a decent position. And there we go. So that's just a teaser of what this car can do. Obviously we are going to do 3 more races, but this was the last race in the current lobby. So as per usual, I like to see what the car can do in a brief race. It doesn't really matter about the championship leaderboard or anything like that. It's just to see what the car can do, and yeah, it's pretty great all round, I find. But like I said, the top speed is not the best. It can only do 167, which isn't bad, but considering a lot of cars in this class can do well over 180, 190, some even can nudge 200. I say that Ford GT, for instance, in 6th place could easily do more than 200, as a car in standard form can do that. Then yeah, we're going to be a little bit outclassed on long straights, but still, that's 31 mile an hour quicker than what it could do originally, so it is a big increase in terms of what we can do now in comparison to what it could do in stock form. So there is that. So yeah, let's look at the stats before we talk about it some more. Got some pretty good stats on this. So let's take a look. Come on. If it'll load. There we go. So yeah, we've got, as you can see, 6.0 on the speed, which isn't the best, but then you do have 9.5 acceleration, 6.1 launch, 6.5 handling, braking, which is really rather good. Handling is the weaker side, but with the all-wheel drive system it is actually better than it looks in terms of the stat. You have to think back to the likes of the P7 or the Tavascan Concept in terms of other cars that have stats that are on the low side for handling, but because they have all-wheel drive, they're a lot better than they actually come across in terms of just pure raw numbers. So yeah, it's actually far better than it looks in that regard. And with that all-wheel drive system, you know, you've got race suspension, you've got race brakes, you've got semi-slick tyres that are wider at the rear and the front, which all combine to make a very good car in terms of handling. And then, you know, we're also lighter than what we were standard at 2,420 pounds, which is 446 pounds less than what we were standard, which is a much bigger decrease in weight than the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio that we tried out in online racing in the last online racing episode that we did. So yeah, that's a big decrease in weight, and it's kind of marginal sizing, power and torque as well, which we'll get to in before we start the next race. But let's see what we can do on this point-to-point race. Hopefully we'll do well. We're up against some formidable competition like the Corvettes and the Dodge Vipers, which have even more power than we do even in stock form. pretty good in terms of acceleration initially. You seem to run out a little bit of a steam once we're in 4th gear though. There's more to these races than, you know, initial acceleration. See the F40 there, completely went wide around the checkpoint, so it's automatically a position to us. Did try and brake so I wouldn't go into ghost mode, but for whatever reason the cars in front of us were braking even harder. Do try and not exploit that ghost mode aspect. You know, some people do, like they're exploiting this whole checkpoint area as well. So. A little bit wide there. I do wish they added more Maseratis though. I know it's obviously in the Cars I Defy the Auto Show and the Festival playlist wanted to concentrate on Alfa Romeo, Lancia, Barth and Lancia, but in the car pack at least we could have had another Maserati. I mean, there is at least one that we could have had that fits the Italian exotics whole mantra, and that's the MC20 I think it's called, which is Maserati's latest mid-engine rear-wheel drive, you know, supercar, which is absolutely glorious in a lot of ways, and yeah, far better than the driver in that Maserati though is for sure. The fact is we've not had many Maseratis added to Forza games over the years. Very few have been consistent returnees. Gran Turismo in 2nd place, and maybe the Ghibli Q4. They're the more common ones to be reintroduced over and over again. Oh damn it! Car on the driving line there. Yeah, that Maserati is the one that screwed us over though in the grand scheme of things. We wouldn't have been in that position had we not been rammed off into some boulders, but regardless, 5th place is decent, it's top 5. It's about, you know, the halfway mark in terms of the leaderboard overall. So yeah, that's decent enough, but yeah, that Maserati is someone I'm going to have to look out for and make sure that they don't try and do the same thing again. It's not something I should have to look out for, but you know, online public lobbies are generally full of people that try and exploit every avenue possible just to get ahead of others, rather than just, you know, enjoy the racing and rely on the talent and the car they're driving. But yeah, that's just the way it is. But yeah, this car now has 375 horsepower, which is a massive 165 horsepower over the standard car. So that's a big increase, which when you couple that with a decrease in weight is, yeah, definitely makes for a much different car in terms of acceleration and speed. And it now has 124 pounds-feet of torque extra over the standard car at 348 pounds-feet of torque. So yeah, that's again a massive increase, and that's because, well, we not only have, you know, race camshafts, a race turbocharger, but we also have a race engine block as well, as we are now a 2.3 litre turbocharged inline-4 engine over the 2 litre standard engine that we had originally. So yeah, but the 2 litre standard engine was also turbocharged and an inline-4, so it's not radically different. You know, it's only a few hundred extra cc's over the standard car, but with a race turbocharger, much bigger engine block, race camshafts, you know, it's just, yeah, much markedly different in terms of what it can do in terms of acceleration and speed. Certainly higher revving as well, at nearly 8,000 RPM, which is, yeah, definitely something to enjoy. And yeah, add that power to the handling upgrades I've given it, and overall I think this is a really good car. And we haven't come across the big weak point, which is the top speed, yet. So yeah, it's not something that's as big as a factor as you might expect. But there are definitely point-to-point races on this game that have long straights. There's one in particular that has a long bit on the motorway, so yeah, we definitely top out, or not even probably get to our top speed on that straight, whereas other people would easily cruise past 170. So yeah, if we were close enough to people, then they would overtake us with ease, but if we had enough of a gap between us and whoever's behind us, then yeah, we wouldn't hopefully be in too much trouble, but that's not always the case. Come on, takes forever to set up these lobbies, I swear. But there we go. So yeah, for a 31-year-old car, it's not half bad. Yeah, I wish the launch was a little bit better, especially given it's an all-wheel drive car, but it's not the worst that I've seen on this game, and definitely improved it by giving it a race transmission. Great. See if we can do any better in this second race. Maserati doesn't try and murder us again. Much better turning than the Corvette there, even though it's got a rear wing and everything. The all-wheel drive system and the semi-slick tyres just stick to the ground. Whoa, that's a big crash. Capitalise, capitalise. Better handling than the Maserati is, that's for sure. But it's been crammed full of power. It is quite a heavy car in stock form. GTR behind us, another formidable all-wheel drive car. Beautiful handling around that corner then. See? You can get a second place when you're not being rammed off the road by the car in front of you. So yeah, another second place there, although the first second place in this current lobby. So yeah, pleased with how the car handled there. It performed pretty well all the way around. Obviously we did capitalise somewhat on a massive accident that happened early on in the race. But yeah, did really well regardless. Looks like we've got a team of people here, DDKs. Most of them are in the 2002 Corvettes. So yeah, surprised they've not tried to do more of a team thing where they just try and prioritise one of them and the rest of them try and knock everyone else out. But yeah, I think some of them had a big of an accident though, so that's where most of them were behind. So yeah, we're now crawled up to third place in the leaderboard overall after coming in fifth in the first race, so that's pretty good. So yeah, we now can do 0 to 60 in 3.342 seconds over the standard car, which could do 0 to 60 in 6 seconds, so we're nearly twice as quick to 60. And we can now do 0 to 100 in 8.286 seconds, whereas the standard car can only do 0 to 100 in 17.4, so more than double as quick to 100 than over the standard car, which I think primarily comes down to the standard car is due to the gearbox and the gear ratios. It's not particularly great after you get to about 70, 80 or 90 or thereabouts, so yeah, you getting that race transmission with the massive amounts of increase in torque and power, while also decreasing the weight, yeah, has made a massive impact in the acceleration of this car. You really wouldn't think this is a 31-year-old car if you just saw how quick this was going without knowing anything about it. So yeah, really pleased with it. Hopefully we can do another good race here. Regardless, I do enjoy driving the car, and that's the main thing when it comes to racing online for me. I'm not enjoying the car that I'm driving. That's why I don't prioritise going for cars that are, you know, considered OP or anything like that. I will just drive what I want to drive. Doesn't always work out, but you know, it's not always about winning. As long as the race is fair, and people aren't cheating, then I can enjoy the race that I'm in. Nearly came a cropper from that Ford Bronco there. Thanks for the nudge there, Maserati. Yeah, as you might have gathered with the Italian automotive update, this channel's got a little bit Italian heavy in the car department, but I'm really enjoying driving the cars that they've added and using them in other videos and the like, so I'm not obviously just reviewing them, because I think there's only one added via the festival playlist or the auto show that wasn't a part of the original game, nor part of the car pack that I haven't reviewed, so I will be reviewing that as well. I think it's a Lancia Stratos, so yeah, I will be reviewing that. I did review this Lancia and most of the other cars in either the previous Forza Horizon game or previous Forza Motorsport game, so they've got a Ferrari California. Oh yeah, it is an E-Class standard. So it's not going to have the best upgrades then in that car. Opted for semi-slick tyres with this car as well, just to make sure that, you know, it would be decent if I had to go slightly off-road at times. Because this car is obviously a rally-bred car, so it has some off-road capabilities even with the race suspension. So yeah, only 6th place that time. Oh no, 5th place. Oh. Apparently there was a little bit of lag. So yeah, 2 5th place positions and a 2nd place, which yeah is about what I'd expect, to be honest, from this car. It's got really good acceleration and mid-range clout and all that lot, but the top end isn't particularly great. We were slightly getting towards the top end of our top speed, part of that point to point there, so yeah, we are a little bit outclassed once we're past 120, 130, as you saw with the Corvette and the Maserati and the like. But overall, I think the car's really rather good. It's a good all-rounder, and it's got us joint 3rd place, so yeah, I'm pleased with that. Certainly one of the better positions that we've had on a championship leaderboard online racing for a while, so yeah, the Lancia Delta there has done us really proud. So get out there and get it if you haven't already. It's in the auto show. It's only cost 100,000 credit. Oh, sorry, it only costs 100,000 credits, which is not a lot at all, and I'm pretty sure most people that play this game for any length of time have well more than that. So yeah, get out there and get it if you haven't already, and enjoy it as much as I do. So yeah, nonetheless, thank you, Lil, for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.